Travis with TCustomz Productions, TCustomz.com. This video I just wanted to pass along a tip, something that I found useful, specifically when I am digging and listening to samples in audio that are already in audio or digital format that are not directly on vinyl. I'm not sitting down physically at a turntable listening to samples that way, but a lot of times, you know, you may have vinyl rips that you've downloaded online, or you may have already digitized a lot of your own vinyl collection, and so you already have it in MP3 format or some sort of digital format, and you're playing back probably a lot of those samples just in a basic standard music player. One of the benefits that I like to actually sitting down at a turntable is that you have your RPM adjustments. You have, at the very basic level, you're going to have your 33, you're going to have your 45 settings, and then most turntables are going to have incremental adjustments to allow you to essentially transpose up or down that sample to speed it up and also to change the pitch of it. So essentially like you're transposing it like you would be in your software, but you can get a sense of what that's going to sound like in real time versus having to record it in first and then go through the process of importing it into some third-party software and make the adjustments there. You're able to actually do that in real time, and you don't necessarily have that same flexibility with most music players, at least ones that I've found. But if I'm going through a listening session and I don't really want to stop what I'm doing, but I want to get a different perspective on what the record would sound like manipulated in some way, then I can actually do that with this player and plugin. If I play the sample back, you're going to hear that it's, you know, kind of a slower tempo. I kind of already get a sense that I would more than likely want to speed this up in some way. So instead of kind of having to guess of what this sample is going to sound like sped up, with this plugin that I have, I can actually pitch that up just like I would on the turntable.
I'm no poet, you see. I'm just so very proud that you belong to me.
In real time, I can scan through the
Come lay your head on my heart, just relax while I start. You've been right when I was weary.
And to mention what this is an older music player. You may be familiar with it, maybe not, and it's not really that popular anymore. I don't think they've made any updates for it in at least a year or so, but it's called Winamp. It's really lightweight. It worked well. I used it several years ago, and that was the main player that I used. And the only reason I installed this is because there's a plugin called Pacemaker, which is what you see over here. This is actually a separate set of controls that allows you to adjust the tempo, the pitch, and the speed. Now, I was using the speed adjustment here, which is essentially a transpose, is adjusting the pitch, the key of the sample, as well as the tempo. Now, you can also use a pitch, which is going to keep the same tempo and just adjust the key of it, and then the tempo is going to work opposite. It's going to adjust the tempo without changing the pitch. Keep in mind these top two are more like time stretching algorithms, so the more extreme you go, the more likelihood you're going to be introducing the audio artifacts that kind of make the audio sound grainy. So there are actually two installations for this. They're very lightweight. They're not going to take up a lot of resources or space on your computer. Both of these will be linked in the description, but if you go to winamp.com, you can download the player for either PC or Mac. It's going to direct you to one of their old forums from a couple years ago with the most recent download. So once you get Winamp installed, the next thing you're going to need is the Pacemaker plugin. This is what actually makes it works with Winamp, is what makes all this vinyl emulation, pitching, time stretching. That's what makes all that work. For whatever reason, the creators of this did not create a compatible plugin for Mac, even though the Winamp player actually works for Mac. If you go to the FAQ on this page, there are alternatives listed for Mac. And if you guys have any other input on any player specifically or anything similar like this for Mac devices, feel free to leave it in the comments. I can even link that in the description for anybody else who may be watching this video. There's more information listed here and explaining exactly all of what this plugin does. And then down here, it says here, just go to the download page. You click on that, and here is the Pacemaker version 2.7.3 download. Just download and install that, and then the next time you launch your Winamp player, once you have this plugin installed, this is how it will come up. And again, this is a separate module here. And if you want to use this player automatically with all of your MP3s and your music, you can easily make that file association in your Windows settings, and it'll probably even ask you whenever you launch Winamp if you want to make the associations for MP3s, and that way when you double click on an MP3 or play it back, it will automatically launch this versus the default Windows Media Player or whatever else you have, iTunes. So again, I'll put the links in the description to download these directly from the respective sites. If you have any input for Mac users or you have any alternatives to something like this without using, you know, a DAW, again, that was the whole purpose of this, was not having to actually import it. I know different workstations are capable of doing this type of stuff, but to be able to do this in a very simple and lightweight player, I haven't really seen that option anywhere else. So if you have any other input on that, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you like this video, if it was helpful at all, a thumbs up would definitely help out. You can subscribe for more weekly content uploaded to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.